A year and a half ago, I was in a really unhealthy relationship, and um, it got to the point where I had lost my car, I lost my job. I was completely dependent on this person financially, and I was about 1,000 miles away from my family and my friends. I was completely isolated. It was during a pandemic, and I just had nothing, and I was realizing that the relationship was very toxic and that it wasn't going to get any better. And more than anything, I realized that my daughter was not going to be safe if I stayed in that relationship. Was kind of floating around for about 6.5 months. I was living on people's couches and living rooms. I was staying at Airbnbs, motels, and people were just kind of helping me pay for all of these things. And I was trying to get into programs, and there was nothing that would take me and my daughter. I had never heard of the Blessing Center. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't understand like transitional homes or transitional living. But I just knew that I needed a safe space, and it seemed like it was my only option at the time. So it was really just out of desperation and needing a safe space for my daughter and me that we ended up here at Hannah's house. I felt like I had gotten myself and my daughter in this situation, and I just felt really overwhelmed, not knowing what was going to happen and just what was in store for us. I think the internal challenge, which was the biggest thing, just accepting that this was my circumstance and that I had to receive the help. I'm not someone who receives help very well. So for me, like just all the love that was being poured into me and everyone who was wanting to know my story and wanting to help my daughter and me, it was such a foreign concept. For about 7 months, I was dealing with all of those things with custody stuff and trauma and, being technically homeless and trying to be there for my daughter. And I didn't have a safe space to live. And so for me, the biggest resource is that we get to have a loving, caring home for our children, and that takes a big pressure off of us as mothers, at least for me. And I think spiritually, like this is, a faith-based program, and so for me, having that spiritual foundation and having people really want to bring us closer to God and see us closer to God, that is probably one of the biggest blessings that comes out of this program, because we are peace and we have that stillness, and we can give ourselves permission to just kind of like accept this love that we're getting, this beautiful garden and animals and so many people who come in and give their time and their money and their donations. But I think the biggest thing of all is just the community and the love. Those are like the biggest resources that helped me in my time here. I think the biggest thing that I will take with me from this program is just learning to forgive myself. We do different classes and Bible studies here, and we talk a lot about our healing and our relationship with God. And I think the biggest thing that I've gotten from this program is learning to accept the mistakes that I've made, the circumstances that I've experienced as a part of my journey, and to grow from those. The biggest, one thing I really love about the Blessing Center is that so many people just want to be of service. They don't want anything in return. They just want to give of their time and of their energy and of their love. And so moving forward, when I have the opportunity, I want to make sure that I'm taking the time to really be a steward for Jesus and to give of my time, whatever it is that I can give. If I don't have money, that's fine. If I don't have physical things to give, but I can always give something. I can give someone love. I can listen to their story. I can share my story to be a message of hope for someone. So I think those are the biggest things that I will take with me is forgiveness for yourself and finding ways to take my story and to help serve someone else who's going through the same thing or who just needs a listening ear.